Hi everyone! I noticed that I was getting a lot of glare when I was using my phone, so hopefully looks like I am getting a little bit less glare off my glasses from the laptop, so we're going to try this and see how that goes. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I just wanted to hop on real fast. I did mention that I'd be on this afternoon and plan to be on a couple other times this week with some short thoughts from the book of John. And we've been looking at Jesus' life and the things that he's been doing in John chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. And we're going to keep on going through John and the other Gospels in Sunday school. But today I wanted to take a little bit of a broader look at the book of John. Now, our memory verse on our first week in Sunday school was John 2:11. And it says, "In this way he revealed his power, or he revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him." That verse tells us the reason for that story, the reason that thing happened, the reason that story is recorded, the reason we're told about the miracles that Jesus performs. And the book of John also tells us why it's written. The whole book. At the end of the book, John says in chapter 21, verse 31, "These things are recorded so that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name." The whole point of the book of John, of everything that we're doing in Sunday school, of learning about Christ, of all of this, the whole point is that we would believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing we would have life in his name. Now, we know all of those things, right? We know that Jesus is the Christ. We know that he's the Son of God. We know that believing in him gives us eternal life. We know those things. So why do we go over them again and again every week, several times? For those of us that are at home with our families, why do we go over it with our families when we're not at church? Why is this a big deal? Why does it matter if we already know it? But the thing is, sometimes we need to be reminded. Just because we know something doesn't mean we always remember. And we're going to continue learning about Jesus' life, and we're going to see that that was true about his disciples then. His followers from the very beginning forgot who Jesus was over and over again and lived as though they didn't know who Jesus was over and over again. And we do that today. Sometimes we live as though we did not know that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing in his name we have life. We live like we don't know those things, and so we need to be reminded. Now, it's not a matter of not having that information. We've already said that we know those things, but the problem is that we get distracted, or at least I do. Jesus' disciples got distracted by all sorts of things in the Gospels. They got distracted by storms. They got distracted by crowds. They got distracted by fear. They got distracted by the opinions of the people around them. There were all sorts of things that distracted the disciples then, and there are all sorts of things that distract us now. How about this? Have you ever known that you had homework to do or a chore to do or whatever it might be? But there's the phone, and there's the video game, and there's your friend calling you to come play, and there's this and there's that, and all sorts of things that are more appealing to us, that we want more in the moment. Even though we know we should be doing something, we get distracted by those things. Or what about this? Have you ever said, "I'm bored"? Well, I said that a few times growing up, and I figured out pretty quickly that my mom had this strange idea about being bored. She thought that bored meant distracted from the things that you should be doing. I don't know where she got that crazy idea, but she seems to think that if I was bored, I needed something to do. She would always respond with, "Well, you can wash the dishes, or I can come up with a chore for you to do, or you can sweep the floor, or you can..." And she always had this long list of things that I should be doing instead of being bored. Bored is just another word for distracted from the things that we should be doing. Because when we're focusing on the things that we should be focusing on, when we focus on the things that we should be doing, there's no time, there's no room left for bored. It's not always easy. It doesn't always make sense when Jesus tells us to do something. Just like in our story from John 2, Jesus told the servants to do several things that didn't make sense. He told them to fill the jars with water when that wasn't what they needed. He told them to take some of that water to the master of the banquet when that wasn't what they needed. It probably didn't make any sense, but they chose to trust that Jesus knew what he was doing, that Jesus knew what he was saying. And that's the choice that we make today. We get to choose if we're going to trust that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God, and if we're going to choose to trust that by believing in him we have life in his name, or if we're going to let ourselves be distracted. Now, I want you to be thinking throughout the rest of this week, what are the things that distract you? I've got games on my phone, I've got my laptop, I've got all sorts of people that I can text or call, I've got shows on TV. There's all sorts of things that might distract me. I've got a whole bookshelf full of books, a bunch of which I've never even read yet. There's lots of things that can distract me. And some of those are even good things. Just because something is a distraction doesn't mean that it's bad in and of itself, but it just means that in that moment, there's something else that would be a better use of my time, that would be a better use of my energy that I should be focusing on instead. And the truth is, we should always be focusing on Christ, no matter what we're doing. And if anything takes our focus away from Christ, then we're distracted. We're not remembering the things that we already know. And so I want to encourage you to keep reminding yourself of the things that you know, of what you know about who Jesus is, of what you know about who he says that you are, of what you know about his promises for you. He has promised us that he gives us his peace that passes all understanding. He has promised us that he loves us no matter what. He has all these beautiful, wonderful promises for us. He promises that no matter how bad it gets, he's got this. No matter how scared we might be, he's got us. No matter how hurt we might be, he's got us. No matter what is going on around us, God's got us. And that is his promise to us, and that is the promise that we should be focusing on all the time. We shouldn't be losing track of that. And that's why we come back each week and in our homes throughout the week and remind ourselves of the things that we already know. So I would love to hear from you guys. Just drop a comment or shoot me a longer message. I would love to hear from each one of you. I miss you guys so much. And I will see you again Wednesday night at 6 p.m. We'll be on here on this page with an adult Bible study. And I will either have a pre-recorded youth lesson from Isaiah or I will live stream. Hopefully one of those will work on my personal page at that same time, if not before. And so we'll have that here for you Wednesday night, and we'll be back again Sunday morning at 9:30. Have a wonderful week. The Lord bless you and keep you, and I will see you in the comments.